Eckhart Tolle. Eckhart Tolle is a man that many people look up to for spiritual and mental health guidance. He is a man that has a cool, calm demeanor along with a soothing voice.
You have this dried plant that for a long time was illegal.
And a great stage presence.
Of the consciousness of the universe.
He has written many books, including his most famous and first book, The Power of Now. It has changed many people's lives, including mine.
He published a book in 1997 titled The Power of Now. It didn't sell many copies. But then, in 2000, Oprah Winfrey recommended it.
I read it at a time in my life that I really needed to hear the message, and it truly did help me. And although I really like his teachings, and I really think many people can benefit from his message, there is definitely a link between him and all the other New Age gurus. He talks about manifestation. He talks about many
how to manifest
of the same similar ideas that others do. And sure, everybody deserves money, but at $80 million, you would think that maybe more of it would be freely available.
Comes out of this, the freshness of the unmanifested, the freshness of being itself. It takes on form.
Okay, one thing's clear, is the guy is pretty strange. His teachings are mainly freely available. There is very little about his personal life. He has his personal story, as he calls it, his awakening story. It has holes in it. It has a lot of missing information. And diving down many Reddit threads, I have found people that have claimed that they knew him before he was famous, and much of it was fabricated. Don't believe that's necessarily a factor to say that if he's good or bad, even if he made it all up. I personally believe that you can learn great things from people that are full of it. And I don't even necessarily think that he's full of it. But I do think that there is a line that he walks between him and other spiritual gurus that are all about the money, that maybe even are just businessmen looking for business. On the other hand, there's people of every genre that take someone like Eckhart Tolle, the teacher, put him on a pedestal and make it part of their personality, and treat not only his teachings, but the man himself as some sort of religion or religious figure. Followers look for people to follow. Some people will follow Brad Pitt or Leonardo DiCaprio. But the difference between Brad Pitt or Leonardo DiCaprio is they're not claiming to be spiritually awakened or a guru or saying that they know how you should live your life and trying to teach you to do better. My mother at one time was very much into Deepak Chopra. One time she went to an event, one of his lectures, and afterwards they had a meet and greet where my mom got to meet Deepak Chopra. When she got to meet him, she asked if she could touch him, and his response was that I am only human.
Oprah said to me, "You're not a guru, are you?" I said, "No, of course not." I don't see myself, of course, as a guru. I do know some people look at a photo. At first I was shocked when somebody told me they had my photo on their desk. And I thought, what for?
Who am I in essence? Temporarily, I'm a person with a name. I am a spiritual teacher when the teaching happens. It's a conceptual identity. I don't carry around a conceptual identity when I'm not in the actual teaching situation. I don't carry around in my head a conceptual identity of myself as a spiritual teacher. Nor do I carry around in my head an identity of myself even as a person of a particular age or gender or whatever. I am consciousness. I'm the animating presence behind form.
I've seen many circumstances that remind me of the same thing with Eckhart Tolle, except Eckhart won't say that he's only human. He kind of just lets them touch him. When he's faced with a question that is polarizing or has the ability to maybe divide his audience, he will take the question and slowly morph it into something that he does know the answer to that is not polarizing and will not divide the audience. Always bringing it back to his teachings and always back to a place where he is sort of the authority. He will never admit that he is wrong about something or have a spark of, oh, I've never thought about that way. It's not a conversation with the audience. It is always a lecture with the audience, and he always tries to portray himself as the leader, as the one with the answers. Example of this is when he's faced with a vegan or a vegetarian asking about his diet, and he always sort of answers in the exact same way that is most likely rehearsed, as there's years apart of the exact same thing being said almost.
Yourself vegetarian or vegan? And if not, why not?
Because when the Dalai Lama is at home, he is a vegetarian. When he travels, he eats anything. And they asked him, "Why do you eat meat?" And he said, "Well, I got used to it. That certain life forms are more evolved than others, although intellectually you might question that and say, the Dalai Lama eats meat, Hitler was a vegetarian." And once when I said, "Did you know that Hitler was a vegetarian?"
Unspoken sort of seniority complex that he holds over his audience, his followers, and his readers. Then there's the whole money thing. The guy's obviously a multi-millionaire, and it's really interesting the things I found and the things that I haven't found, because his personal finances are private. And it's really hard to find if he's like giving a bunch of money away or something like that. There is a foundation, the Eckhart Tolle Foundation, that gives away his books. But think about what that means. It means that he's so like about his message that he believes it enough to like put his own money in there and give it away. And more I look into the guy, more I realize that maybe I was right about him after all, and he really is the real deal, and he at least believes his own stuff enough to put his money where his mouth is. However, then there's the contradicting stuff that's like maybe he planned to be a spiritual guru before he was even that spiritual himself and knew that there was a lot of money in it all. It's really hard to tell what the real man actually believes, but he does give a lot of these books away, and the finances are... Man, it's a difficult road to figure out because there's just so much contradictions out there online. I like what I see. I like who he portrays himself as, even with the flaws, even with the contradictions. Now, the whole point of this video isn't to expose or do a hit piece on Eckhart Tolle, although parts of it might feel like that. The reason I started making this video, and I may make another video that's more pinpointed to all gurus, and I used Eckhart Tolle for the reason that he is my guru. He's the one that cracked through my stubborn brain and was able to teach me some of these concepts. And maybe I would have learned it from somebody else if he didn't exist or if he wouldn't have written his books. For whatever reason, he spoke to me. His awakening story spoke to me. Just something about the way he presents himself really was able to influence me to learn some of these ancient teachings that he borrows from. It's still one of those books that if I had a friend struggling with something that I thought that book could help them with, he is one of the better of these types of people. However, he is a person. There's like this spectrum from like somebody that just doesn't even consider them a spiritual teacher, but they just have like really good insight about life. Anybody can be one of these people. Well, it's just anybody you get spiritual knowledge or tricks on how to deal with your mind can be one of those people, and they're the most innocent type because they want nothing, they need nothing. All they're doing is teaching the knowledge that they've learned throughout their life. And then that spectrum goes all the way to like Jim Jones, right? Or a cult leader, or Charles Manson, or somebody like that that's just like taking advantage of people. And I think Eckhart and Deepak and many of these other gurus are kind of in the middle there, where they give their insights. Their insights are good. Their books you can get a lot from, but as soon as you start like following them as like they're the all-knowing, or taking them at face value and start, like these are businessmen that portray themselves as spiritual gurus, even if they don't know it themselves. And please God, let me end this video, is that they are human. Don't follow people. Think for yourself. I don't know why people like to follow people. I like good ideas. Maybe he planned this all out and it worked out. He made the right friends. He got on Oprah. He blew up and he's still making money today. Or maybe he did it out of the kind of his heart, and the whole spiritual thing, his whole awakening, it's all true. Or maybe it's somewhere in the middle, which I find more likely. But regardless, it doesn't even really matter as long as you got something from it and you're not like giving your life savings to one of these gurus. They're people, man. I don't know why people follow people the way they do. I've never really been a follower, but I've also had the fortunate circumstance of having loving people in my life my whole life. Like, my family's not perfect, but I've had friends that I could tell that they didn't know if their family loved them or not. And I've always known that my family loves me, and I've always had loved ones in my world. So maybe that has something to do with it. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's just a personality trait. But whatever the case, I've never been a follower. Question everything, think for yourself, and thank God this video's done. I'm ready to move on. I got like 20 other ideas for 20 other videos. I don't know what one I'm going to do. I could do the guru one. Like, I should have done it this time. I don't know, dude. Like the video, subscribe for more, and I'll either see you in the next video or I'll see you in the next live. I just wish he would let people know more often and more in an honest way about who he is, and that is a human, and also being more forthright about where he came from. Those stories do exist. Like, I have watched hours, sometimes on fast forward, 2 times speed on YouTube, sometimes slowly. And one thing that this project at least has made me do is re-look at his teachings and reread some of his stuff, because it's important stuff. If someone like Eckhart or Deepak or one of these other spiritual gurus says something that sparks your mind and makes you think in a way that you end up being happier or more giving or something positive in your life, then that's great. But I don't think that you should put anybody that was born human above you.